Working with Hispanic and Latino families can be challenging when you don't understand the language or the culture. We had the opportunity to talk with David Carrillo, licensed social worker and trainer consultant, who has a strong knowledge base in the Hispanic and Latino cultures. Throughout this video, you will have the opportunity to hear from David, as well as the principal and staff from DeLacy Family Education Center in Carpentersville, Illinois, as they share their experiences. It is our hope that you will walk away with a better understanding of the Hispanic and Latino cultures. Let's begin with David as he explains the differences between the terms Hispanic and Latino.
The difference between Hispanic Latino is often confusing because there's a lot of stereotypes and ideas as to what it means, but the best way that I can explain the difference is this way. Hispanic has to do with countries, North America, Latin America, that have Spanish language heritage, some connection to Spain. Many years ago, Spain was called Española, and so therefore the name Hispanic comes from that relationship to Spain. Latino has to do with a sense of connection to the region of the world, as well as to the word Latin, Latino, Latin. Languages, for example, like French, Portuguese, Spanish have a Latin basis for it, and therefore we have Latino as a different way that some people identify themselves as Latino. So depending on who you talk to, some people feel very comfortable with either one. Some people choose to be identified as having a relationship to Spain versus a relationship to the part of the world. So in many circles, it's interchangeable. For example, let me give you where it differentiates a little bit. Let's take a look at Brazil, for example. Brazil speaks Portuguese. The people of Brazil speak Portuguese. So they consider themselves to be Latinos, possibly, but not Hispanic, because they're not related to the Spanish language or the Spanish heritage. So that would be an example of some people may differentiate a little more clearly. One of the stereotypes that foreign families have to deal with, specifically Spanish-speaking families, for example, is that families are not interested in learning the language of our host culture, that would be English, or that these families are not interested in the education of their children. Those are stereotypes. My belief is that foreign families, Mexican families, Latino families, are encouraging and supporting their children's education. However, it is also important to keep in mind that these families would like to maintain their connection to their own families via culture, via how we celebrate, via what we eat, what we do, and the language we speak. I think today, in the majority of cases, Latino, Hispanic, Mexican families definitely want their children to be bilingual and bicultural. They're not saying, don't learn English. I think today families are saying, learn both. There are some barriers, I think, that are inherent in relationship to why Hispanic Latino families may not feel comfortable being a part of the educational system, in attending their children's school, et cetera, et cetera. I think the primary one is a lack of trust in a system that they don't understand, a system that is literally foreign to them. Our educational system in our country is quite different than their experience from where they're coming from. To be more exact, what I'm attempting to say is that many of the families that we come in contact with in this country from other countries, specifically people, for example, from Mexico, is that some of our families may not have had an education, nor be involved in an educational system that parallels what we might have here. So if you don't know what this system is about, you become a little suspicious, sometimes a little uncomfortable, and not trusting of that system itself. Education is important for all families, but family is important. As I said earlier, Latino families, Hispanic families, Mexican families, to be more specific to a particular culture, families are primary. And therefore, sometimes there are challenges because we have this loyalty and this responsibility to family functions, to family needs, that education or attendance at school, for example, might be seen as secondary. It's not that it's secondary. It's that we need to understand that the family needs are very important to these families, and deciding to stay home to take care of a younger sibling, for example, or staying home in order to take an extended family member to translate to a doctor, to an attorney, to someone that they need to speak to in English, for example, and not attending school for that particular day is seen as responsibility to family. Not that education is not important. It is important, but family comes first.
We try to support the philosophy that a parent is a child's first teacher, and that they can and should be teaching their children things that are in the school realm. We also provide support for our families in other ways through our Spanish-speaking family school liaison. We have concrete supports for parents. So if they need help with finding resources for paying their bills, or if they need transportation because they need to go for some kind of special evaluation that might be in the city, different things like that, our family school liaison helps those families with.
Another myth is that Latino, Hispanic parents don't care very much for education. That is so unfortunate that there are many people that still believe that. It isn't true. The truth is that parents want their children to be educated. Getting back to what I mentioned earlier is that very often the difference is that parents entrust teachers and educators so much that they literally, when they send the child to school, they believe that the teacher, the principal, the educator in the building is the professional. They will know what to do and what they need to do with their child. And therefore, what is the stereotype is that parents are not involved in their children's education, when in reality what the thinking is, if I send you to school, you will be taken care of. I can't dictate or tell or suggest to a teacher what to do, because after all, they are the professional. Teachers in Hispanic America, Latin America are positively regarded, admired, to the point that parents are not willing to question not only authority, but position. Parents want their children to have an education. The second piece that needs to be understood about that is that very often the parents don't know how to navigate through this educational system, so they don't know how to participate, they don't know how to intervene, they don't feel comfortable enough to possibly challenge what might be going on in the classroom or in the school, because that's not where they're coming from. That's not their understanding of how a system operates. So those are two examples of how it's been a negative, very negative stereotype belief system that parents don't care. They do care. They tremendously care. All of the surveys that have been done to answer that question show tremendous amount of positive response to the fact that, yes, we want our children to be educated. Definitely so.
We staff our schools so that if we don't have a teacher that has is bilingual, that we have a fluent Spanish-speaking assistant who can work with the children in the classroom. We also have structured our curriculum so that there is blocks of time that the Spanish speakers are with the Spanish-speaking assistant and the English speakers are with the English-speaking teacher, so that they can learn some of the vocabulary and some of the language concepts in their native language first. And then there's other times in the day where they are able to interact with the English and Spanish-speaking children together. And then they'll support them within their center activities in their native language when they need to, but they can also introduce them to some English words because there's a lot of contextual cues available for them. Outside of the classroom, we do a lot to support our Spanish-speaking families because they do make up a large percentage of our school. For one thing, we really want to encourage parents to be involved in school, as early as possible. If we get them involved and we help them to feel comfortable being at school at this early age, then as they move on to elementary school, they can continue that habit. We have a parent volunteer program that's in the classrooms where we have parents come in and do activities with children. We have a family school liaison who is a Spanish speaker who organizes that program for our Spanish-speaking parents so they feel comfortable, getting the directions in their native language and understand what their responsibilities are when they come into the classroom. And then, for those parents to be able to see firsthand how the teachers work with the children, what kinds of things they do in terms of learning activities, what kinds of methods they do for discipline with children, and just learning a lot about the routines of school is a good opportunity for parents if they are able to come into the classroom. We also do many family nights. We have, we have English and Spanish-speaking children in our school. So when we have our family nights, we focus on activities that are some are educational and some are social. We want to try to get the families to come in, and the social helps us to do that, and then they can be more comfortable coming for the educational activities.
Let me speak about a couple of things that I think teachers need to do. I think that teachers need to be intentionally involved in that child's world, that child's culture. And what I mean by intentional, it's not just passively waiting for the student to come into their classroom and then begin to do their work as teachers. I think the teachers need to learn about the culture. I think they intentionally need to be involved in being participants in community activities, if invited to family activities, to maybe not necessarily accept all of the invitations, but learn the culture. Need to understand where that child is coming from. Make connections with the family. Be respectful of the difference. Along the way, as we make those connections with families, they begin to have a sense of respect, even more so, for that teacher. That teacher becomes a loyal supporter, not only of the family, but of the child. I think that teachers need to ask and be brave enough to ask when they don't know. They need to be brave enough to ask parents or other professionals in the building that might be aware of the culture. about things that they don't understand. I think that we often deal with differences in our cultures in America, fearful of asking, fearful of demonstrating ignorance. There's nothing wrong with ignorance as long as we acknowledge it and we try to resolve it. And we resolve it by asking questions.
Yeah, when I first started teaching, they said, "Oh, you speak Spanish. Here you go, you can teach bilingual." And of course, being young and right out of college, I thought, yeah, okay, that's fine. But as I got in, I realized I could communicate with the parents, but there was still that cultural barrier that I didn't understand. And I've learned over the years that I really need to rely on native speakers and people that are from that culture. Because there are some activities sometimes that I'll even, my assistant and I will plan some activities, and I'll run some ideas past her, and even though I think it's a great idea, she'll be like, we don't really do that. And sometimes I've seen it in the kids' faces where I'll present something that I think is really good, and they just kind of give me this look like, okay, you're a little bit crazy, we're not going to do that. So I think it's very important to have that contact with the culture and to understand the different implications. And another example is at parent-teacher conferences. Sometimes they'll say, well, you speak Spanish, you don't need your bilingual assistant with you at the conferences. And I push to have her there with me because there are so many instances that I'll be talking with the parent and I will be communicating with each other, but then my assistant will bring out a question that I wouldn't have thought of asking, but because she heard a certain piece of information from the parents, she knew what else was involved with that I didn't see, that I didn't get. And there are certain things at this age level, we sometimes, I have students that start at age 3, age 4, and sometimes we see that they're still using a bottle at home, or the parents don't really acknowledge that they're more independent. And I think a lot of that is cultural, and she and I work together about how to best talk with the parents about it. And she helps me out too to know, is this a cultural difference? Is this just an individual family difference? Because I think sometimes we say, oh, they speak Spanish, they're Hispanic, they're like this. But I don't think, if we had a classroom full of English speakers, I don't think you would just say, oh, that's the way they are, they speak English. And I think sometimes we have to recognize that there are some cultural differences, but there are also some differences that are just because families are different and people are different. And she really helps me to distinguish between those different areas.
Some of the strategies that I use to bring culture into the classroom would be inviting families, making sure that they feel comfortable to share their traditions and their stories as well. Trying to incorporate books of a variety of cultures as well, and possibly songs is a great way to have children learn.
If you're going to send any information home, you begin with an English document that is translated into the other language, and then having a native speaker of that language to translate it back to English. If the back translation is the same as the original document, then you know you have a correct translation, interpretation of what information you want to send home.
I send home a weekly newsletter so that at the end of the week, so that the parents know what books we've been reading, what songs we've been singing. Something I've learned about the newsletter is to keep it short, keep it brief. I just have a couple points that I hit each week, and that way I know it'll be read. If I send home a whole page of 3 paragraphs typed, it won't be read. So I just do some bullets, and we do the same topics every week, a half sheet of paper. I do make phone calls as needed. And I find too that something that I've learned over the years too is that when I call, I ask how they're doing, I ask how their family's doing. We get really involved with the students. We know their siblings, how old they are, what their names are, and we talk with the students on a daily basis when they enter the classroom. How is your brother? How is this person doing? What did you do with Grandpa today? And we've learned that that's a good way to develop a good rapport with the students before we can even get to things like academics.
With my families, the way that I have a great communication with them would be trying to make it as open as possible. So again, trying to make families feel very comfortable, making sure that they know that they can give me a call whenever they have a question. Also inviting them to come over and to volunteer in the classroom, having those family nights at our school, and knowing that they can come and participate in their child's learning, as well as providing newsletters. And I make sure to provide those in Spanish as well for those families that need Spanish newsletters. That way they can know exactly what their child's learning in my classroom.
I think that whenever a disability or a challenge is explained to a parent, it has to be done, well, number one, in their language, and secondly, in language that is understood by that particular parent. And for that interpreter, translator, to be able to explain it in a way at a level that we make sure that the family understands what we're trying to convey to them. We often assume that parents understand in English or in Spanish what we're saying to them. They don't. They didn't go to school to become psychologists or physical therapists or speech therapists. The language and the terminology that we use as professionals, we can understand. Sometimes we can't even understand across from each other. But think of how that might be to a parent. To a parent that is not willing to say, I don't understand that, because they're shy, because they're uncomfortable demonstrating ignorance, if you will, or simply because they're not going to question the authority presenting that information. When a child is born into a family with an educational challenge, with a physical, mental disability, what I would prefer to call a challenge, these children are often protected and overprotected, to the point that this child is seen as being special. Sometimes, for some families, from a religious perspective, they see the child as having been born into this family by the grace of God, and it's to be accepted as it is. And so when these children are ready to attend school or educational programs that can help the child with these physical, mental, or other challenges or disabilities, the families are often, they appear to be a little reluctant to receive the assistance, to receive the help. And that comes from what I explained earlier of how this child is being seen. So that one of the goals for educators, for people in education, to assist these families is to show them, share with them, and teach them about the possibilities that can occur should this child receive assistance, so that this child can function better, more effectively in the real world if they get some help. So it's a matter of balancing, respecting the belief system, the culture, and in addition, being able to give families the education and background information that they need in order to make sort of an educated, if you will, decision about further assistance for their child.
By offering students a bilingual program at the preschool level, when all of the students are still learning their languages, I think it's beneficial for them to have that support in their native language. And also, I've noticed in my classroom that the students, because they come in and they understand what's going on and they can communicate with the teachers and with the other students, I've noticed that a lot of them, their self-esteem is better, and they're willing to take more risks, which I've seen has helped them to achieve more in the classroom as well. I have had some students that have transitioned into my classroom from another classroom in the school building, and when they were in an English-speaking setting, the teachers would say, oh, they're so shy, they have limited vocabulary, their social skills are poor. They come into my classroom, they're in a native language environment, and they really open up. And we see them take more risks. We see they have more success academically with the different skills that we're presenting. And their social skills also are improved just by feeling comfortable and having the opportunity to communicate with others. And as I stated before, a lot of the students are in my classroom in particular because of communication needs. And when they're in that natural environment, we see a lot more progress than if they're in a classroom where the teachers or the assistants are not understanding them.
Let me talk about something else that I think needs to be remembered in dealing with families. The whole issue of interpretation and translation. Translation, one way of understanding translation, those of you that might be familiar with computer translation, machine translation, that's translation that's very direct. And so that translation is not the same as interpretation. Interpretation is getting at the small, insignificant, what may appear to be insignificant information that is to be understood between the lines. The physical gestures, the physical communication, the way that we use words and language, the tone, the type of words that are used, all of those, when interpreted, when looked at it as a whole, is an interpretation of what is being said.
In my classroom, I really see my paraprofessional as my equal. She is from Mexico. She was born in Mexico. So she has a very good insight with the students in the classroom, the families. I speak Spanish, but I still have some cultural limitations, and so I rely very heavily on her when communicating with families and even with students when there's situations that arise, or even just in daily communication. She gives me a lot of insight as far as what's behind the language. Sometimes I understand word for word what the students are saying, but I don't necessarily understand what they're trying to convey to me, and she's very helpful with that.
My background is Spanish. So I was born here, but I was raised in Mexico. So it's very important. She thinks it is, and I think also that it's very important for the parents to communicate with us and to use the words that we're used to use in our communities. And sometimes when we have someone who knows the language, but sometimes they don't know the sayings or slang words, is a little bit more difficult. So it's like when I'm talking to the parents, it's easier for me to communicate with them, because Karen does understand Spanish, but sometimes she doesn't understand all the words. So when we're talking to the parents, sometimes she says, she asks me, could you explain to me what is it that they're talking about? And so that is when I take part of it. And also explaining to the parents things in Spanish sometimes is better, because there are some parents that do understand English, but it's easier for them to hear their own native language, in this case, Spanish.
I would love to see teachers and administrators, school personnel, to make that extra step to get up and meet parents for the first couple of times at the door, and not say hello from their desk, from behind the counter, but to literally to get up and make that physical connection. Physical connection with Latino families is extremely important.
Get to know the parents, get to know them, because the more comfortable that parents feel with the school setting and the educators and the principal or the administrator, the more they're going to learn. They're going to learn, and then also that administration and those teachers can learn about the culture of those families. I really believe that having those bringing that other culture into the classroom is very important for the parents and the children to feel at home in that environment. Having, letting the parents share their culture with you, and then displaying it and bringing it in is a great way to build that connection and that relationship.
Hispanic families value the goodness, quote unquote, the goodness, what we call ser buena persona, of the teachers, the principals, the counselors, the social workers. It begins with a sense of trust. Families cannot begin to trust unless they feel, number one, that they are accepted, that they are acknowledged as people, as having feeling, as having a different culture, as having values, a perception of the world that might be different. They want to be accepted from where they are, from, as we say, from where they're coming from. That is the beginning of making cultural ties with people. That is the beginning of building trust. Acknowledging difference, I think, is very important for any culture.